Oh, this is finally on Peacock. It's on. It's on the cock. It's Oppenheimer. It's my second time through. I've been doing this for a lot of my favorite films of the past year. This film is in my top 10 for the year, um, which hopefully by the time you watch this video, if I time it correctly, I'm watching this before I want to actually release it. My goal is to release Oppenheimer, this review, on the day of the Oscars. Did I watch it the day of the Oscars? No. No, I did not. Or even the day before? No, I did not. Um, but I did want to talk about Oppenheimer one more time and why it's a great movie. First of all, the audio description, deluxe lore post, it's just fire. It just is. It's such a a great audio description track. It's sort of stealth in its way because there's so much dialogue, especially in the third act, where it just bounces back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, that it becomes really hard for lore to get a word in, to be honest. Um, but uh, it's still a great track, especially earlier in the film when it really matters, when there are a lot of things happening, when Nolan is doing a lot of his Nolanisms and jumping around and hitting you with imagery and those flashes of things that happen. So also the bomb test. And I watched this on a TV screen, which actually in my original review was the first thing I said. I said I really want to watch this at home because I had the worst theatrical experience. First of all, I had to switch my headset 3 times for just to get it. So I didn't even get audio description until I don't know, like 20 minutes into the movie. So I missed like the beginning audio description. Luckily I had somebody with me who kept going back, but the manager like refused to actually go to the theater to see whether or not the headset was working. And just was like, no, I'm sure this one's working. Luckily it was the third time, but when I sent her the second time back, I was like, ask him to come here and make sure it works instead of just handing you shit that doesn't work. Just see if he'll make the journey. He wouldn't. And I used to work for that company. I would have made the journey. I don't know what's happened to that corporate culture at Regal Enterprises, but middle finger still up. Anyway, yeah. So I didn't have a fun experience, and I haven't been back. The volume was set to an auditorium. It was a big auditorium. It was set to sold out audience. It was just me and one, me plus one. That was it. So I've had hearing problems since Oppenheimer. Legitimately, seriously, I'm not kidding. I've never had hearing problems in my life, but now my eardrums are like hypersensitive for some reason, occasionally to sound. And so I was so glad to watch this on a TV screen where I'd be able to control the volume myself. And I could hear the whole fucking movie. I could hear all the dialogue. I could hear the little things. It wasn't just the bass, that was like shaking my organs loose. It wasn't that. I could hear everything. And I need to apologize to Emily Blunt because she's fantastic in this film. It's so much when you watch it in the theater. It's so fucking loud. It is so loud in that theater. That when I actually got to see her performance, I thought it was beautiful. I thought she did a great job. Her scene when she's being questioned is great. I don't have a problem with her being nominated anymore. Originally, I was like, I don't know, she doesn't really do anything. She didn't really make an impact on me. On the rewatch, I was like, nah, she's fire. But my problem with Oppenheimer is there are a lot of people that are fire in here. I truly believe that this is the best performance Matt Damon gave this year, and Matt Damon has given in several years, I think. if we're being really honest, his performance in Oppenheimer is one of the better ones of his career. It feels the least Matt Damon-y of his of his life. It feels like the kind of performance where he gets thrown in and it's like, oh, wow, he's really good. Is Downey Jr. better? It's showier. And he is fantastic as well. I loved Robert Downey Jr. in this. I also think Florence Pugh, in the little bit that she has, does really good. Yeah, does really good work. Tony Goldwyn in this unsung hero that nobody talks about. Controlling the hearings does a really nice job there. I was other people that come in and out that have little brief performances. I thought did really nice work, like David Krumholtz. I thought his scene is fire as well. So is Rami Malek. These people that they don't have a huge contribution to the film, but when they do contribute, it's like everyone showed up for Nolan. So I don't know that necessarily Emily Blunt is any different than the rest of the people who also showed up in limited form. But I don't have as much of a problem with it. This is one of those things where I have more of a problem now with the SAG nomination that just stops at a certain point and leaves a bunch of people off the list. Because what? The same thing with I could say the same thing about the ensemble lists for Killers of the Flower Moon and some other films. No, you drew the line at a weird place to cut off, in Barbie too. I don't like the SAG ensemble lists. I don't hate the nominations. I just hate where they stop with who gets the nominations. Yeah, so Cillian Murphy. It is a great performance from him. Is it the best performance of his career? That's a tough one, because Cillian has been pretty much on fire the whole time. And he does great work. It's a strong performance. It's a subdued performance. It's not showy, but then again, neither really are Paul Giamatti or Jeffrey Rush. They're not really showy. They're kind of sit back and making comments. They rely heavily on their scripts. Cillian relies heavily on Nolan's script as well as they do. So it's like three people who all rely sort of heavily on their scripts to help propel them through. There isn't, there's not like a ton of makeup for people to go, ooh, look how close they look like to the real person. And it doesn't have like a big showy moment like Coleman Domingo's got moments in Rustin that are just loud and just he's got great Oscar clip moments in Rustin. Just really obvious ones, just probably more than anybody, actually, if I'm being honest. If they find a bad clip for him, I'm gonna be upset, because he has some speeches in that movie that are just but yeah, it's great. I loved Oppenheimer the second time through, actually even more, because I wasn't disrupted by the obscene sound design. Do you know, I actually enjoy the score more now, because there's something about if you don't balance it right, if you're just trying to blast people with bass, it actually fucks up the score, because the score isn't entirely bass. And I don't have extra speakers and subwoofers and stuff in here to like hit me with that. So it actually sounded better. I know people are going to be like, but on the big screen, it's great. Listen, man, if the projectionist, I've been a projectionist, I was a projectionist for years. If your balance is off, you can mess up a film. You just can. And my experience was not great. I couldn't even, my initial review was like, I don't even know if this has a score. It's kind of just like, this is one of the least, when you take away that bass, you can hear the score. and it's delightful, and it's amazing, and it's strong, and I loved it for Oppenheimer. I don't, man, I already did my top 10 scores. I can't remember where I put it. Would it be my best score? I don't know. I have to rewatch Saltburn, which I believe I have as my top score of the year. So, um, one of those two though. But yeah, I loved everything more when I wasn't trying to be murdered by a lazy projectionist. Um, and this was a great experience. So Oppenheimer, fantastic film. It's up there for me. Uh, so if check out my top 10 films of the year video, and you'll find out where it ranked. I'm gonna make you watch a damn video. Yeah, so there you go. Um, anyway, I just want to say that yes, I do have actually even more of a respect. I already gave this film an A because I just tried to take away the theatrical experience out of it and figured that there was an A grade film here. There absolutely is an A grade film here. This is Nolan. He's on fire. He deserves it. I actually feel even more empowered now to like support him in his win. Before I was supporting him, but there was something that was wrong about my theatrical experience. It was keeping me from just being like, I'm like, no, give it to him. So, yeah. Um, my passion has been reignited. I would suggest to anybody who had a weird theatrical experience, please watch Oppenheimer at home, especially if you have a normal TV and not like a subwoofer next to your face. Um, yeah, this was a great experience. I liked it. Everybody should watch this without the bass. Uh, you know, I didn't even put this in my top 10 for sound design because I hated it so much. Anyway, that's it. The one category I don't want it to win in. That's it. That's the one category. I just would prefer if something else could win sound design. I hear Zone of Interest is dope. So, yeah, let's do that. Anyway, Oppenheimer. It's on Peacock, audio description, all that. Check it out. I'm giving Oppenheimer an A. Ah, that feels good to do a second time. Anyway, I have a website, macthemovieguy.com. You can follow me on X, or Instagram, macthemovieguy. You can go to the audio description project, adb.a2b.org. It'll let you know what has audio description and where you can watch it. And you can go to the adna.org. That's the adna.org. It'll let you know who's narrating your favorite film and television series. Or you can look up Laura Post. Anyway, that's it for me today. I'll watch something else and see you guys on the other side.